Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures, where we'll be talking and reviewing action figures from different manufacturers. Today we're going to be having a closer look at another G.I. Joe Classified series that I just received. Of course, this is the G.I. Joe Classified number 137 in the line. This is, of course, Wreckage and the Tiger Paw ATF. Now, this set came out in 2024. It was sold and still sold for $54.99 in the US. It is €64.99. You can purchase it from Hasbro Pulse for Europe, still available on their website. Not available in North America anymore, so you can pick it up from Target due to the fact that Tiger Force is exclusive to Target in the US. Toys R Us in Canada is the one who picked up the Tiger Force line, so you can purchase it from your local Toys R Us. So that's about the main thing about this vehicle. Now let's dive in let's do some history about it and let's talk about it. So Tiger Force came out in 1988 in the G.I. Joe Real American Hero line. It started with a lot of repaints of some Cobra vehicles in G.I. Joe colors, and we also got the same way where we got some G.I. Joe vehicles painted in Cobra colors. So this one came out in 1988. The figure Wreckage itself didn't come out until 2003. It was a Toys R Us box, blister box of 5 figures that you could pick up. Came out, like I said, in 2003. Sadly, I do not have the box on the hand, so I cannot really show you. Of course, it's just a regular repaint of the Firefly figure from 1984. Of course, Wreckage did not have much of a lifespan, contrary to some of the other G.I. Joe repaints or other figures. So there was only 2 versions of it. There was another version, I think, came out in 2006, 2005, and that was a box set also of Tiger Force. I have it also somewhere in the storage. It was an exclusive set for the G.I. Joe conventions. Was available in that way. So that's the only 2 versions of Wrecker that came out until now. So now that we did history and that we talked a bit of the price and having a look at it, well, we could also have a bit of a look at the box, but I mean, it's maybe a bit redundant because these boxes are pretty the same. I do like the fact that we get a blister for the figure, so you can see mostly what you get. You have a pretty cool diorama where there's some nice inserts. I like the fact that you can see that there's some more G.I. Joe Tiger Force behind. Of course, we have Roadblock and we have Tripwire, who are also basically came out at the same time. Now, let's take a look at the back of the box. And, of course, you have the standard description of how high the figure is, what do you get with the thing, how does the vehicle look, and you get some little close-ups on the details of what the vehicle looks like. So, not going to lose much more time talking about the box. Let's dive into what we have in the box. So, of course, what do we have in the box? Of course, we do have the figure, Wreckage. We do have a backpack. We have 2 little landmines. We have, of course, a machine pistol with a removable charger. We also have a little remote control. We have a silencer. We have a pistol. And we have a knife. So that's what you get with the figure. Now let's have a look at the Tiger Paw itself. So we're going to put it like this for now, and when we're going to be having a closer look at it. So these are what you get in the box. So I'm going to be starting by the Tiger Paw. Tiger Paw looks pretty decent, as you can see. The colors are really flashy, of course, not really military-like, but I mean the design with the eyes, the mouth, I mean, really makes it look pretty awesome. Of course, you can have a look. Do find that there's a bit of a lack of detail. The fact that you have some kind of suspensions like this doesn't make sense, but you cannot spin the wheels. The wheels don't spin around. There's not much detail underneath. I find it really lacking of details. I don't also like the fact that this part here is not high enough. I'm not going to talk about the missiles that are bent. I mean, this is an eternal problem with them, but I find the vehicle a bit lacking of details. Certain things are a bit surprising. Of course, we can have a look at the details over here. As you can see, there's a little his tank over there, and then there's a radar. Now, I don't see much stuff going on over here that would indicate that there's any radar system on this vehicle, so that does look strange. And then the original one, you could spin this around and you would be able to get the gun to turn. I mean, if you're doing something in 6" and doing a reproduction, I think it's not the best reproduction that I would have expected. I think they could have done a bit better. Now I can understand Hasbro is trying to save some money right now, but still, I think there's something missing. Now, also something that was very surprising, Gridiron Studio normally does a lot of stuff. I haven't purchased anything from them. I'm really looking forward to do that. I'm seeing some sets and I would like to have a look at them. So I would really like to pick up something from them. But they did not do anything. When you see the amount of parts and bits that they created for the Vamp or for the Stinger Jeep, I would have expected to get something for more than the 4 tires that they give. I would have liked to have something maybe to be put in over here, some extra gear, or even the possibility to have something a bit more detailed and a bit heavier in the front of it. So I'm going to have a look at the gun. The gun doesn't look like anything special. You could have it handheld by the person, but as you can see, there's no ammo box, there's nothing. It's pretty basic, and personally, I think the ATF is way better without the gun. So, contrary to the other one, and also you can remove the missiles and remove these little parts over here. And personally, I think by removing these parts here, where the missiles come in, the vehicle looks a little bit better. I would have liked to have something to block. Again, this is what I'm saying. Gridiron Studios should be trying to make something to really make this vehicle a little bit better. Now that we've talked about the vehicle, of course, there's another little thing that it's more like a nitpicky. Not kind of keen. I would have preferred, instead of getting this kind of silver over there, I would have preferred to get some kind of bluish color, who would make more sense for a vehicle like that too, instead of having something as shiny. But I mean, there's a few little details were nice, like the trap for the petrol, but as you can see, there's no place that petrol would leak to the floor due to the fact that there's no gas tank on this vehicle. It was kind of crazy. So I think the vehicle could have been improved, and for something in 6" scale, could have merited a bit more details. Now, of course, as we know, Hasbro is saving money and doing a lot of repaints, a lot more than they were doing with the original line. So, of course, we have Wreckage. Wreckage is a simple repaint of Firefly, the second version that Hasbro did for the Classified line. As you can see, going to look, the detail, the face mask, I mean, looks really neat. The Tiger Force logo looks great. I mean, the figure itself looks pretty decent. I really like what they did with this figure. Looks pretty nice. They really did some good schemes. One to doing some little pocket zippers on his pants, and that's really going into a bit of some details. This is what I would have preferred to have also on the Tiger Paw, but sadly they didn't do it. Of course, you have the backpack, who's exactly the same one, with the possibility, let's start clipsing the stuff. You have on the side here, you can clip these 2 little mines over here, and up. So afterwards you can come with the silencer. Now personally, I'm not a big fan of this system of rifle, due to the fact that this is really easy to bend. So if you're going to put the weapon over here, this can bend easily. You have to be really careful. This could break. Of course, you can also put the silencer. There's work on the pistol also. As you can see, it's not very straight. So there we are. So, oops. Yeah, as you can see, not the best thing. Sorry for the zoom out. So I'm just going to put this into his holster. I'm going to put the knife in over here. So there we are. He's all geared up. Of course, a little remote control here, who personally, I don't see why Hasbro gave it to us, because there's no use for it, due to the fact that he does not come with the same accessories than the Firefly. So, I was saying about the figure. Now you can have a look at it geared up. It looks not too bad. Now, talking about something that does not make sense, of course, because due to the fact that it's a repaint, as I said, this little accessory. Now, here is the Firefly from the line, and as you can see, he does come with some extra stuff. It has some kind of night vision goggles, or some kind of other goggles, a bit looks like Splinter Cell for me. Then he has the little RC vehicle with the C4 charge, and that's the reason why he has a little remote control. It's to drive the vehicle. Now I don't understand why he doesn't have it, and of course, would I have preferred, instead of this, I would have preferred to get some night vision, or we could have even got these nods from the ones that were given with Tunnel Rat, or the different sets that came out with it. So I think that would have been. I nearly forget one of the most important parts of this. It's the helmet. As you can see, helmet looks really neat, really great helmet. This is the same one that is given with Clutch with the Vamp. I like the repaints. I think it looks pretty neat and pretty decent. I would have preferred to see this with the Ram motorcycle Tiger Force Duke than having it with this ATV. I would have preferred to have it, but it really looks neat. And of course, you can put it on his head. You can see that has 7 kills by the looks of it, and it looks pretty neat. Now, the big problem with this is that it doesn't hold at all. Firefly's head is way too small, but as I said, you could have given this kind of accessory for him, and that would have worked. It fit perfectly, and he would have looked really cooler with this kind of outfit. Now, I do not have my those action soldiers that came out for the 60th anniversary, but you can easily remove the head and exchange the head, and you could army build this guy, so you'll be able to get a few more ATVs. So that could be a good idea for that also. Now, of course, the last part that we get this kind of manual for the Tiger Paw. And personally, when I'm looking at it, it's very funny that they tell you this is removable due to the fact that it's not at all removable, due to the fact that it does come with it. You could pull it out, I guess, but it's not separate. A bit of a shame. I mean, maybe we got used with the old blueprints for this. I mean, this is garbage for me. Why not give us a blueprint with the details of the vehicle, pointing out certain stuff like you did with the Real American Hero line? Don't know why you didn't do it. Would have made more sense and made it a lot more interesting. So, this is it going to be for this part of the review. Now I'm going to be talking about, do I think this set is a collectible item, and if yes or no, and what are my final thoughts about it. So, if we're going to talk about collectible value of this item, I think Tiger Force vehicles, or Tiger Force in general in the classified line, didn't really work. I mean, if you had some Outbacks at the time, they were worth a lot of money, but they didn't sell that great. Afterwards, you can find them in clearance, and by the looks of it, Tiger Force seems to be the line in the G.I. Joe classified line who doesn't seem to hold any kind of coat, and people seems to be selling them, getting rid of them at even cheaper price than what they paid for. They don't seem to hold as much as Night Force. Night Force seems to have a better predilection for the collectors. Don't guess, maybe because they look more military-like in the color-wise. But Tiger Force worked for me as a Real American Hero. Over here they work, but I don't think it's such a collectible. And talking about that, if you want to army build, go to Target today. You can see on their website that they are selling this for $34, so you save $20 on it. I guess for Black Friday or some other period of time, you might get some extra discount. I'm not a big fan of Target, but I know that if you have their card, you can get some extra money off. So if you could save $20, $25 on it, hey, why not pick some up and get these vehicles going around, and you can army build pretty easily. So for me, as a collector, do I think this vehicle will and this figure will have some value? I don't think it's going to be picking up that much value due to the fact that it's easily available in the US. I guess in Canada, Toys R Us will have some, and this vehicle is still available on Hasbro Pulse in Europe and hasn't sold out. And vehicles don't seem to be so much popular. Talking about certain G.I. Joe repaints are not as popular as that in Europe, so I will not invest that much money in it. If you can get it for a decent clearance price, pick some up. It's always interesting to have it. So, my final thoughts about this figure and what is the note I would be giving it. Now, for the note, I'm going to be splitting it up in half because I think there's a note which has to be given for the figure and a note for the vehicle because they're two different things. Now, the figure itself works for me. Good figure, had some interesting parts about it, and I really like what they did. The face print looks pretty good. So the figure itself, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 due to the fact that you get this remote control who is useless. Now, when I'm looking at this vehicle, I mean, this vehicle is a 5, maybe a 6 out of 10, because really not that great. Very disappointed in this vehicle. The choices that they made for it doesn't work for me. There's a lack of details that could have been done better. And as I was saying, one of the things who is incredibly bad on the things, due to the fact that he has very stiff articulations, I really had a lot of hard time getting him. But if you try to put him on the vehicle, you can see it's very hard to put him sitting down. So if you would want to put him sitting down, he would be way back, or you would really have to really bend, really push back his legs really back for him to be sitting on this vehicle. As you can see, it's not really the best to put it. I really exaggerated on the things, but as you can see, he doesn't seem to have a really great position on the vehicle. So that's what for I'm giving this 5 out of 10 would be my final note for this vehicle. So that's going to be it for the review of the Wreckage and Tiger Paw vehicle from the G.I. Joe Classified line. If you like the review, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. If you have any suggestions, tell me what you think also. Subscribe to the channel, that helps a lot. And you can also go and check out the pictures that I made of this guy. This is why the wheels are dirty on it. So you can go and check it out on Facebook, on Instagram. The links will be in the description of the video. And that's going to be it. See you next time. Hope you have a fantastic day. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.